This is Jay all over the place. I'm gonna do another quick video on making a driveway / walkway using Quikrete High Strength. I'm not gonna go into the walkway too much because the only thing you need to know about the walkway is that it's only about 3 to 4 inches deep, thick, and you don't have to use rebar. Some people use mesh, some people use rebar, but I mean, it depends on how much work you want to get done, and I don't know if that's what you want to do. But I'm gonna just show you how I'm doing the driveway mostly, because like I said, I'll show you the walkway when I start talking about, you know, mixing concrete, because that's where I started off and it's a little bit crazy looking. But I'm gonna go ahead and show you this driveway. So what you want to do is, some people use stakes, metal stakes, wooden stakes, to mark off the area, and then they'll get some vinyl rope. It's like $12 a roll, and they'll tie it around the stake and run it down, and then spray paint that, and they just do a lot of extra stuff. But I just go ahead and you're going to use these boards for borders anyway, these planks right here, and I'm doing 10-foot sections. So the cheapest I can find was a 1 by 8 by 10 feet long, and I just place it right near the area where I want to dig out. So I have these boards all around this area here, and this is already a border. This is the portion that I've already done months ago. And then you just get to digging, you dig all this stuff out. I use a pickaxe and of course a shovel to haul it away. And when you get, I pretty much start off on the edge, get that dug out, and 6 inches, I'll measure it. And then I'll go ahead and, you know, dig out the rest of it. And once you get that done, then you can, I bought some cheap string. I mean, it served the purpose. And you just want to put it flush on the ground, make sure it's taut all the way across, and then you just get and you just measure it and keep digging until it's about 6 inches. Let me see if I can. Oh, that's almost at 6 inch right there. And you just measure it like every foot or so, and this is right at 6 inches. All right. Okay, so once you get all that dug out, then you have to get the I'm trying not to trip over this. You have to get all the vegetation out. So I'm gonna clean up all these leaves, but you know, roots, you have to cut out the roots, especially if it's a tree root, because I've seen tree roots grow through concrete. So you got to cut out tree roots, and then you take your pickaxe and make sure this is, you know, straight down and level. And then that way, let me move this out the way. You can just take your board and set it on in there. Like that. Now once you set it in, if it doesn't stand up straight and start leaning or something, you can take these little cheap stakes. They're like about a dozen for a few bucks. They're not really expensive, and it'll hold them in place. All right, now let's talk about this rebar. So when I first did it, I seen all these videos, and they use number 4 rebar. It's reinforcement bars. These are about, number 4s are about a 1/2 inch thick. Let me see if you can tell the difference. But they say you only need a number 3s, which is like, I guess, a 1/4 inch thick. So this is number 4, and this is number 3. But I had already got the number 4, so I'm just gonna go ahead and use what I got. Now as far as the rest is concerned, they say you can just take a rag and just wipe it out, but don't add any oil, because the Quikrete won't adhere. It won't stick to the oil. And if you put oil on there, I've seen a video where they took some tar or something and placed it on each ends. I don't know what that was, so maybe you can put it in the comments what they were doing. I didn't bother to look because I'm not doing all that stuff, but yeah, so if it don't have too much rust on it, it's not a problem. They said that you know, like grass or something like that, over time it'll build up like moss and deteriorate the concrete. So that's what they say, you're supposed to get all this, the vegetation up. All right, so I seen some, of course I'm not a professional, that's what these videos are all about. It's my first time doing it. I mean, I've been working on this for months, but I'm not a professional at this. I ain't been doing it for years and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, all you want to do is it says you can space out the rebar like anywhere from 6 inches all the way up to like 18 inches across. So I guess it depends on how much work you want to do or how much, you know, secure you want it to be. I think this is good enough. I put mine like about, I think like 14, 15 inches, something like that. And because of how it is, I didn't put it straight across. I made it diagonal because, as you can see, this is kind of, it's not a square. It's like, I guess a rhombus. I don't know. I've been out of school for a while, so but it's at an angle. So that's why my rebar is at an angle. So the purpose of the rebar is if you have like a sinkhole, the concrete won't break inside. The rebar will hold it straight. It'll reinforce the concrete all the way across. So that's why you need it. And of course it needs to be, they said anywhere from like at least 5 inches deep to support, like, you know, a F-150 and just a regular truck or something like that. So that's about 4,000 or 5,000 pounds, a couple of tons. But if you got some heavy machinery, or like when they was doing a parking lot, I think it was like 10 inches deep, you know, so it just depends on what you're using it for. This is just a private driveway, so trying not to leave anything out. This right here, I'm going to fill in. See how there's a space here. I'm just going to put some dirt behind it to fill it in. If it's a little bit of space, like this, that right there, the Quikrete is thick enough to where it won't seep in and just, you know, go crazy and fill up from the back. So that's okay. But I'm going to fill these deep holes in. Now, these, they sell these different, I don't know why I want to call them trees. They sell these different chairs. Let me see if I can find one. So they have some with 2 spaces. They're about 6 inches apart. But like I said, I don't want mine that close, so I just buy these individually. Of course, it's best to buy in bulk. So I bought a whole box of them. That's a 100 pack. And as you can see, you just put the rebar. Let me see. So you put the one that goes at the bottom inside the deeper hole. And you can see this right here, it sits up. And the purpose of this is so that way the rebar be like, you know, a couple of inches off the ground. It'll be in the middle, you know, inside the concrete instead of it being on the ground or something. So, you know, once you do that, you have these little metal ties. I'll just do one right quick to show you and see if I can do it with one hand. Got these metal ties. And you have if I can find a tool. And you have this little tool. It's best to go ahead and get this. It's not expensive. It's a few bucks. And you just, let's see if I can get it first. Yep. So you just wrap it around like that. And then just twist it. It came loose, but still, you get the point. And then just smash it down and it'll hold it in place. That should be about it. I'm gonna clean all this stuff up and then I'm gonna come back and mix the Quikrete and show you, and we'll go into depth about all that. I gotta put some more chairs and all these empty spots and pick up all these leaves. So we'll come back with that. This is Jay all over the place, and I'm gonna do another quick video. Well, I'm gonna try to make it as quick as I can. I'm making mosquitoes driveway / walkway. I'm not gonna spend too much time on the walkway because the only difference is it's about 3 to 4 inches deep, as opposed to being 6 inches or more for the driveway. And you don't need any mesh or rebar for a walkway. Some people may use mesh, but I mean, maybe some professionals, they use mesh, but I didn't put any mesh on it. It's been a year and it's been holding up. But I'm gonna show you the only problem I had, and that's what this channel is for, so you can see the mistakes that I make. Let me show you. So this is the walkway. Like I said, it's 4 inches thick, deep, and it goes into the driveway. So, and this is well, from here is 4 inches, and then it goes into 5 inches all the way down to 6 inches into the driveway. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you, based on all the videos and Googling I did. It would tell you, like on the the Quikrete bag itself, it'll tell you how much water to use depending on how big the bag is, you know. So one guy said, yeah, you want to make sure it's thick, like pretty much like oatmeal cookie dough. It was real thick. And I'm like, that don't sound right, but he's a professional. He claims he's a professional, been at 20 for 30 years. And even on the bag, it's told me how much water to use, and it came out really thick. So I went on ahead and put it down, and it came out all crumbly like this. Now it's been here for a year, so it hasn't cracked, but it's still kind of gritty. And let me see, like stuff like this. Yeah. But when I got to the last batch of this walkway, I added more water, and it came out a whole lot smoother. So I'm like, okay, well, I'll just keep adding water. And then I did this section, it came out a lot better. It's a little bit crumbly, but I did this section at night with I literally had candlelight right here. And I just smeared it the best I could and spread it out. And then this section is a little better, and so forth and so on. Got better and better. This crack right here is it's separated. So this is one section, 10-foot section, and then this is where I started another 10-foot section. So it's not cracking because I add too much water or anything like that. It's just two different sections. This right here I stopped because it was late at night again, and I just overlapped this section onto this section, and it hasn't chipped or anything like that. It's holding up. All right, so let me get to the digging part. So all the videos and the professionals and all that kind of stuff, they use stakes, like metal rods, to put in the ground, and like this vinyl cord or something, and it was like $10, $12 at the at Lowe's or something. I didn't need all that because I mean it's tougher, so if you trip on it, it won't snap or anything like that. But I just went and got some regular old string from Wally World for like $2-3, and I'm gonna show you I bought the cheapest wood I can find. This is like 1 inch thick, and since I'm doing 10-foot sections, I bought some 10-foot lumber. It's like about $20 a piece. I think it's 8 inches deep. So I wanted it to be more than 6 inches, just in case if I need to go over, but I will show you. So I went on ahead and dug out this section, and I mainly focus on the edge first. So I'll do the edge and I'll measure it. Let me show you. So the edge is about 6 inches deep. You'll see that? It's like right at 6 inches. And then once I get that down, I'll put this plank down here, flip this down here straight up, and then that'll be the border for the concrete. And then I'll dig out the rest and make sure this is all even 6 inches So I took the string. Make sure you don't have it up like this. You want to make sure it's, yeah. You don't want it up this way, because then that's like an extra inch. See what I mean? That right there. You want it flush with the ground. So now it's down on the ground. And then you want to make sure it's taut. All right. And then all you got to do is just measure it. Let me see. See right there. It's right at 6 inches. And all you have to do is just keep digging little bit by little bit until you get 6 inches all the way around. And then you can go ahead and put the borders down inside. I still got halfway to go. I got to do some more digging. But I'm going to come back and show you how to put the rebar down in the trees and all that kind of stuff. Okay, now I'm ready to mix the Quikrete and pour it. These doggone leaves keep falling. Let me show you this right here. So what you want to do on this is make sure it's packed in tight. So if you pour gravel down there or something, or you have loose dirt, just get in there and stomp it, or buy one of those tools that you can, you know, just make sure it's real packed down good. Because when you pour the concrete, it's going to be heavy, and then it's going to go down a couple of inches or so, and you don't want that. So make sure you pack it down real good. All right. So now I'm going to tell you some of the videos I've seen. They said you want the consistency of like oatmeal cookie dough, and the guy held it to the camera. He's like, see, and I'm like, that doesn't look right. And he was like, I've been doing this for 20-30 years, so I know what I'm talking about. And a couple of people said that. So on the instructions on the bag, it says, so like the 80-pound bag says like 6 pints, and the 50-pound bag says like 3.5 pints. That's not a lot of water. And when I went by the instructions, sure enough, it came out like cookie dough. It was real thick. Oatmeal cookie dough. I'm going to show you. This is how it came out. It came out all crumbly, and I don't know if you can see that. Let me see. Yeah. So see, it just didn't come out smooth at all. So I saw another video, and the guy was like, well, if you've been doing this long enough, you can add a little bit more water. And so that's what I did on the last batch, and it came out real smooth. And so that's pretty much what I've been, just add more water, a little bit more water, and it come out a whole lot smoother. Now there's some cracks in here, but that's because it's separate. This is a separate section in that right there, so that's why there's a crack. But yeah, but I'm gonna show you how I add water and how I mix the concrete. Now, when you're cutting the bag open, you set it on one side. So see how I got this side empty? Because that's when I'm pour the water and mix it on this side. And I'm gonna show you how to do that. But you wanna make a cut below the halfway mark. So somewhere along here. And that way it's a whole lot easier to just, it'll almost pour out itself. See how I start pouring out like that? And I'm just doing this with one hand. If I had to, it'd be a lot easier, but it pretty much pours out on its own. And you see, I don't know if you can see all that, the dust flying up. That's the reason why I got on mask. You need to have mask and some of those like plastic kitchen gloves or something to protect your skin. I got on long sleeve shirts, goggles. I got my goggles there, and I even got something on my head. See, so that way concrete dust won't get up there, and when I go to wash it, I don't know what might happen. So yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and add water. What I do is I use 2 80-pound bags or 3 50-pound bags, because that's almost the same. Now the thing is, you have to use whatever you can manage, because if it's too heavy and you tilt it one way or the other, most likely it's just keep on tilting over and you won't be able to catch it. So I'm not trying to blow my back out by stacking 4 or 5 bags in there. So yeah, just try to figure it out. Start off with one, and if that's light, then add another bag and keep on going like that and see how much you can carry in a wheelbarrow if you're doing it in a wheelbarrow. Some people have mixers. So all right, so I got a gallon bottle over there. I'm gonna fill it up with water, and with these 3 right here, I'm gonna add 2 gallons of water and probably about another half, but once I get to mix it, I can see how it'll look. I'll show you that in a second. Okay, so now I got 3 bags open, and I have 2 gallons of water with the 3 bags of Quikrete. And you can get a rake, a hoe, a shovel, whatever it is you feel comfortable using. And fight mosquitoes, I guess. And all you do is just rake a little bit on this end. Now I have a whole rake. Don't use something like this because it'll just be better with a handle. I'm just trying to show you guys how I do it. All right. Once you get it in here, just keep breaking it back and forth until you get all of this on this side. Once all of this is on this side, and you just go to the other side and do the same thing with all this stuff back. And that's pretty much how you mix it. I mean, you can go around to the side, whatever, but I just scrape all of it to one side. Make sure you get all the way down to the bottom. So usually it'll be packed up. It's hard to do hold the camera at the same time, but it'll be packed up all the way here, and I'll scrape all of it over here, and then come over here, scrape it back down all the way. Make sure you get all the way to the bottom. Now, this is how I do it. It's my method. There's other ways to do it. If you know an easier, better way, then leave a comment. But as far as using 2 gallons, I'm not saying that's the best way. I'm just saying that's how I do it. Because I probably use about maybe 2.5 gallons, which is well over what they tell you. But I want it to be kind of soupy. Not this much. I mean, once you mix it, it's going to soak all this water up. But I don't want it to be crumbly. So yeah, if you have a better way of doing it or a better tool, they have a specific tool for concrete rake, but this is just fine to me, using a regular rake. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and mix it up and show you what it looks like. Okay, it says these are 3 50-pound bags. I hope you can hear me. I got my mask on, but it says 3.5 pints of water per bag. So that's about 10 pints. If I'm not mistaken, I think a gallon is about 8 pints. So a little bit over 8 pints, but I've used 2 gallons and it about dried up all that water just that quick. So I need probably about another half gallon. So I'm not telling you to go against the directions, but when I do it, for some strange reason, it just dries up really quick, and yeah, it's too clumpy. So I use about 2.5 gallons for about 150, 160 pound worth of Quikrete. Okay, this may be just a little bit too wet. Let me see. I might add just a little bit more, but this is pretty much how much I use, how much water. Like about 2.5 gallons of water. And don't buy this crappy yellow rake at Wally World. It came loose on me. See, look at that. Yeah. All right, so I'm probably going to add just a little bit more, but this is pretty much it. This is about the consistency I make it as, and it'll smooth out a lot easier. And I've done this section several months ago and driven on it, and it hasn't broken, so I think it's okay. Don't take my word on it. Do it yourself and try to figure out what's best for you. All right, this is the last part. It looks like crap because I don't know if it's the heat or I don't have no idea. I don't know, but it doesn't matter how much water I put in it. It's freezing up really fast. So I did it like in sections, but it's coming out crappy. But I don't know. I'm a little aggravated. But I want to go ahead and tell you what I'm doing. I'm not telling you to do this, but I had a lot of bags that were solid. So what I did was I'll just lightly tap it with a hammer. And if it breaks up, see how easily that breaks up? Then I go ahead and use it. If it doesn't break up, then I'll just go ahead and put it out there and cover it up. I did that on this section and drove over it. It's been like a few months and it still haven't cracked anything. So I think it'll hold up. They said don't use it if it's frozen. Well, I don't know. Maybe they just want you to go buy some more. I don't know. But once you pour it, if you have a couple of people, you can get a longer board. And all you do is just shimmy it across. And when you get to moving it, the water will come up, so it'll make it a whole lot easier to, to smooth it out. And if you got lines in it that you don't like, then you get one of these tools and just smooth it out. And there's a separate tool like this with a lip on the edge. And you can slide it in here. If you don't want sharp edges, you can slide it in here in this curve. They got different ones, but yeah. And you just slide it in there, running along the edge. But I don't have any kids around here running, so I can get some dirt and fill it up here so it won't be too jagged edge. But once I take this out, then I got a normal edge. It's okay. That's pretty much it. I just wanted to go ahead and end this video, show you the last parts. I don't know. I can't think of anything else. That should be pretty much it. If you've done this before, let me know what you think about using these that's already solidified. Should you or should you not? If you've done it before, let me know. Like I said, this has been several months and this hasn't cracked. This section right here. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and end this whole thing up. Go ahead and woo, there I am. I probably got boogers. I got snot running and it's hot. I'm annoyed. Go ahead and like, share, subscribe, leave some comments, tell me what you think, what I should or shouldn't be doing if you somewhat of a professional and if you pretty much have experience, because a lot of people get on there, well, Google said do this and don't do that. But if you haven't done it, then sometimes Google will say this and right up underneath it, it'll say something completely different. So I've seen that also. So, all right, well, that's it. Thank you much. Hope you enjoyed this video. Hope it help you out. Holla. All right, I wanted to show y'all the finished product. I stayed up to about 2 in the morning working on this crap, finishing it up. I don't know what was going on. I don't know if I was just moving so slow, but it just kept solidifying and drying up every time I mix a batch. So it's like all Frankenstein-y and it looks like crap. I don't really care how it looks as long as I can drive on it. That's cool. But I'm gonna show y'all and give y'all a couple of tips. So here's I picked up pulled the boards out here and filled them in with dirt. But this is what it looks like. It looks like some crazy. That's not cracks, it's just in sections, and I didn't know how to flatten it out completely, because the section would already be dried up. And, when I pour some, it'll dry up, and by the time I mix another batch, it'll dry up, and yeah, it just came out all crappy. A little disappointed, but if it holds up when I'm driving on it, it don't matter to me. So it took me about a year to do all of this, because I'll work on it and then order some more stuff, and now I got so much Quikrete still left over Got some stuff over there, right there, and some here. I think we're just gonna take those and make a walkway with it through the woods. But anyway, I wanted to let you know that the calculator said that it takes like 84 bags, 80 pound bags to do a 10 by 10 that's 6 inches deep. I don't know what happened, because it took me about, let me say, I had 40 pallet. It took me about 50 or 50 pound bags to do this 10 by 10 6-inch deep section. So I don't know what that was all about. But I also wanted to let y'all know, if I don't recall mentioning it before, if you don't have a truck to go pick up the rebar, you can, you know, usually the newer cars, the back seat, you can let them down, and there's like, you know, it goes all the way out to the trunk, and there's about at least 5 feet of space. So when you go pick up the rebar, when you get out in the parking lot, you can take a hacksaw and saw it about a little bit past halfway, and it'll snap. You can just like break it over your thigh or something, and that's the way you can bring in a rebar without having to go renting a truck or calling somebody or whatever. You can still put it in your car, just cut it in half or however you want to cut it. So that's pretty much it. I can't really think of anything else to go over. I told y'all about how, you know, you can use the board to shimmy across. So like this right here, you know, I would use the board to flatten it out, and then that little tool you have to try to make it even. I don't know what's you can't really tell, but this is really uneven. It's like a whole lump right there. But oh well. Yeah, so that's it. I just wanted to let you guys know about the rebar and the calculator, using that much Quikrete. If you can figure out how come the calculator is different than my calculation, maybe I added way too much water, I don't know, but we'll see. Leave it in the comment and let me know. That's it.